Today, we're doing a deep dive into product research in 2024 and how to find your first or next product to sell on Amazon, as well as advanced strategies for PPC, brand analytics, and more. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Serious Sellers Podcast by Helium10. I'm your host, Bradley Sutton, and this is the show that's a completely BS-free, unscripted, and unrehearsed, organic conversation about serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. And something new I'm going to start giving is one quick serious strategy at the top of every episode. So this episode, really quick, did you know that in Helium10, you can set up in seconds an automation to trigger the Amazon request to review? All right, so just go into Helium10 follow-up, hit create new automation, and hit the send a message to request a review option. And then go ahead and set the time frame of when you're looking to have that delivered, like maybe 15 days after the item ships or something like that. And then it'll get to them on that day, and then you are going to probably see a little bump on your review. So this is completely free as long as you have a platinum plan and above. For more information, go to h10.me/follow-up. All right, let's get into this episode with a topic that I think is one of the more fun aspects of the whole Amazon game, right? Like, there's some aspects of the Amazon game that maybe get us kind of bored or maybe it's kind of annoying to do, like trying to deal with our P&Ls or maybe some parts of inventory management or figuring out Amazon fee system, things like that. But I would say probably one of the more enjoyable parts of working on Amazon is when we are working on finding our first product, maybe to sell on Amazon, or finding the next product, validating those products, and that whole process, right? So that's what we're going to be focused on today, is how to do that using the various tools in Helium10 Black Box. First, let's talk about what is Black Box. Black Box is one of the very first tools that Helium10 came out with years and years ago, and it's basically the largest database outside of Amazon itself for Amazon products. There's over 2 billion products in the database, and we've got information on a lot of different marketplaces. You can go into Black Box, it's under tools and under product research. But once you hit that first drop down menu, you're going to see that the tools available here in Black Box are available for the marketplaces, USA, Canada, Mexico, Germany, Spain, Italy, France, UK, India, Netherlands, Australia, Japan, UAE, and now Amazon Brazil. So that is if you're selling in one of those marketplaces, you've got some tools ready for you. Now, throughout this episode, I'm going to be going through each and every one of these tools to let you know how to use them. The first tool in Black Box is products. This allows you to enter in specifics of information on a specific product, and it's going to go ahead and ping our database and allow you to return products that maybe hit that criteria of what might mean opportunity for you. The second tool is probably my favorite tool in all of Black Box. It's keywords. So instead of looking for products, it allows you to look at the keyword level, what is going on Amazon, and find trending keywords based on the parameters that you enter in. The next tool is the newest tool that's inside of Black Box. It's called ABA Top Search Terms. ABA stands for Amazon Brand Analytics, and this allows you to use the database that is from Amazon called Brand Analytics in ways that you're not able to do inside of Seller Central, combining data from there with Helium10 data to really find new products or new keywords that might interest you. The competitors tool here in Black Box is a way to basically look at any product that has activity on Amazon, and it's going to show you the 10, 20, 100, maybe even 200 closest ASINs or closest competitors to that product. Could be your product, could be anybody's product on Amazon. You will get results as long as it has some history on there. Niche. This is another tool in Black Box, and this is a tool that we'll be talking about how to use. Basically, it allows you to run searches on Amazon, but right here, without even having to go on Amazon, you're able to do it within Helium10 and thus able to kind of like hyper segment it and filter it to your needs instead of having to search on Amazon in a little bit more clunky way, right? The last tool we're going to be going over today is Black Box Product Targeting, probably my second favorite tool here. It's going to help you with what ASINs to choose in PPC ASIN targeting campaigns like sponsor display or product targeting campaigns. It's going to help you find maybe complementary products to your product, like maybe future products you can you can offer, or maybe potential bundling options. And it's also going to tell you which tools that or which products that Amazon thinks is the most relevant to any product that you enter in on Amazon. So Black Box, the main focus here is product research, but there are some things here that you'll see you can use even for a little bit of keyword research and some PPC research. Highly, highly recommended in order to find your next or first product to sell on Amazon. So let's go ahead and get into it. How to find potential products with opportunity to sell. All right, so why is this important? How can this make you money? That's the way I'm going to be doing all of these strategies here, is prefacing it with, all right, why is this important to you? So I don't think it takes much of a leap of faith to understand why looking for product opportunity is going to be beneficial, right? You want to make money on Amazon. You can't just go randomly choose products. You might have your own criteria as to what is opportunity and what is not opportunity. That's the beauty about this tool. You put in whatever you want to as a criteria, and we're going to spit back to you the exact products that hit that criteria that you've entered. So let's go ahead and hop in the tool and let's do a, initial search here. All right. So again, if you're not on this page, the way you get here is hit tools, hit Black Box, and the very first tab that comes up is products. And that's what we're going to be focusing on. I know we have a simple version. Ignore that. If you're watching this video, you don't need that simple version at all. All right. I'll keep it straight with you. Keep it on the advanced version, guys. All right. Now that you've got the advanced version set up in your Black Box, basically you can start choosing different products in different categories. So for example, one thing I might go ahead and do is let's go ahead and look at the home and kitchen category, maybe the kitchen and dining, and let's go ahead and choose patio, lawn, and garden. I like under number of sellers to do a maximum of 2. What that means is that, hey, I don't want a whole bunch of products that are maybe wholesaled out or it's arbitrage. Now, hey, maybe you're the opposite. Maybe you are a wholesaler arbitrage seller. Maybe you want to put a minimum of like 5 or something here, but let's just pretend that we're doing private label for right now. Another thing I'm going to go ahead and do is monthly sales in units. All right. This is the number of products estimated that Helium10 says it's selling per month. So there's no magic number here. Let's go from like 150. So, like if they're selling 5 units a day to, I don't know, let's just say 400 units a day, like between 10, 15 units a day. There's other filters here that I suggest using. One of them I like to use is price. I'm going to put minimum 20, maximum 40. So last time Helium10 checked, the price that it was selling for is somewhere between $20 and $40. You guys do what works for you. All right. This is just a nice little standard number here, but don't just copy my numbers that I'm doing here. If I wanted to, I could do brand search and seller search. I'll show you guys how to use that in a little bit here. Or I can exclude brands. I can exclude sellers. I like doing review count. Let's go ahead and do review count. I'm going to say maximum 150 reviews. Like maybe in this situation, I'm like, for me, opportunity is finding a product that's selling like 5, 10, 20 units a day. And yet it's fairly new because it has less than 150 reviews. Other ones that I could do if I wanted to is the BSR rank. That is, Amazon's bestseller ranking, the review rating. Like maybe I wanted to find products that had less than 4 stars or something like that. Shipping size, fulfillment type, weight, etc. One that I really like is number of images. I'm going to put like max 3. Now, the reason I do that is because if you guys are experienced Amazon sellers, you well know that you should have the full complement of images, like 7 images, right? In an Amazon listing. To me, this is opportunity or potential opportunity, because if there's a seller who only has 3 images in their listing, they probably have no idea what they're doing as Amazon sellers, right? And usually when you find somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, the rest of their listing is probably garbage as well. Maybe they got a really bad bullet points and bad title, bad description, things like that. So this is going to be interesting to see what products that, despite there being indication that there's not, doesn't have that great listing optimization quality, it's still selling 5, 15, 20 units a day, right? All right. So that's why I put that. The last one I'm going to go ahead and use is variation count. I'm going to say maximum 1, just because I don't want a whole bunch of listings here to have a whole bunch of colors or different sizes. I just want to focus on the standalone products. There's tons of filters, as you guys can see, that you can go ahead and look up. And if you find a set of filters that you really like using, make sure to save that to your filter library, so then you don't have to always set this every single time that you get in. All right, let's go ahead and hit search and see what comes up. All right, so I came up here with 75 results. So this is perfect, guys. If there's over 200 results, it's only going to show 200. Now, this is on purpose. All right, a lot of people have that question. How come I can only see 200 results in black box? If it says over 200, it's a signal to you that you got to narrow down those filters. All right, there's a couple of reasons that benefit you as the user for this. Number one, if there's 700 results that come up, I guarantee you're not going to sit and look at every single 700 one of those. Nobody has that kind of time, right? So you're going to miss out on some products. You're not going to know where you left off. You're going to leave off, and then you're going to come back. You'll be like, all right, let me just do another search. 200, you can probably get to 200 products in one sitting. Another reason is so many of you out there say, hey, wait a minute, Helium10 is the #1 software out there, 1 million users. Everybody's going to be searching for the same product as I do. And you don't have to worry about that. If you are just doing some really broad search, yeah, probably by chances, other people are going to be searching the same thing as you. But if you are filtering down so much from that 2 billion products that we have, that only 75, like in this situation, come up, well, you can pretty much be sure that, it's very unlikely that somebody is doing the exact same search as you. So again, if you see a number that says over 200, go back into your filters, edit it, and narrow it down a little bit more. All right, once you get to this list, you can see all the information on these products here, like the review count. Remember, I had said, hey, I need less than 150 reviews. You can see that some of these have low reviews. The estimated monthly sales, the retail price, anything that you see here with a graph, I can actually check into the history of the BSR. I can check the history of the price, the history of the reviews, the history of the monthly sales, etc. And basically all you got to do is just look at these and just see, hey, is there anything that looks, interesting? Like, what the heck is this? Wooden coffee pod. It says, let's open this up in Amazon, and you can see this product here. Oh my goodness. It's been selling 200-300 units. And look at this, only 3 images, which look AI generated. Doesn't even look like it's real images. Remember I said the listing probably is not great. I mean, their bullet points are okay. If you're looking at this on YouTube, look at their description, guys. They don't have A+ content, and they have a 1-line product description. Told you guys, if you don't, it's more times than not, if it has a bad number of images, probably the rest of their listing is garbage as well. So that's a terrible description. And this person is doing like $10,000 a month on Amazon. So this is just the first way, guys, of finding product opportunity. Please don't copy the filters that I just did. Yeah, and then everybody's gonna be looking at the same thing. Enter in your own criteria of what you think is product opportunity. Go ahead and put it through, and then the output that comes out in black box, check them out on Amazon and see if it's something that you might want to consider doing. How to research a brand or seller's top products. Why is this important? How can it make you money? Well, regardless if you're a wholesale seller or a private label seller, you might have identified some competitors that are very close to you. Like, man, they probably are getting stuff made at a similar factory as mine, or maybe if you're a wholesale seller, oh man, these guys are maybe selling products that come from similar distribution models as me. Regardless, you might want to look more into their other products to see if maybe you can get some more ideas for products that you can sell. All right, how can you do that? Well, let's go ahead and hop into the tool. If I'm on any product in Amazon, I'm either going to want to copy the brand name exactly in case form, or the seller name. So in this case, I'm on a coffin shelf listing because I sell coffin shelves. I'm like, all right, anything this guy can sell, I can sell. So let me go ahead and copy his exact brand name. And again, it's case sensitive, space sensitive. And then all you have to do is go into black box and put that into exact seller search. I'm going to paste that right there, and then go ahead and press search. Now, once you do that, all of their products, this guy's only selling 5 different products, is going to come up here. Now I can see that this coffin shelf seller, they're also selling a cupcake stand, some decorative wooden crates, a moon-shaped shelf. Like if I'm selling a spooky brand, that could be an interesting product to sell, this moon-shaped shelf, and even a remote control holder here. So the same thing I could have done with his brand name. All right. So I can see his brand name is LK Many. I would just copy that and put that in black box under brand search. All right. So again, if you guys want to do a deep dive into your competitors and see all the products that they're selling, like in a nice little grid there in black box, throw that in there and see the output, start filtering it. Like maybe there's more than 200 results that come up. You only want to see their products that are newest, or you only want to see the products that they're selling more than 1,000 units a month. Whatever are those filters that you want to do, go ahead and put it in black box, and then you'll see the results. How to find product opportunity by searching for keywords. Why is this important? How can it make you money? This is actually a way that I have used, oh my goodness, probably more than 10 times in the last couple of years in how I use Helium10 to find product opportunity that I actually have launched on Amazon. All right, using this exact same method. When you're searching for products, like I showed you, which is totally a fine way to search for products, eventually you're gonna have to get to keywords, right? You're gonna have to understand, all right, I see some products that look good, but what are the keywords that drive sales? So because of that, we added this tool, which is the second tool here in black box here at the very top. You got to hit the keywords tab. And this tool allows us to start from second base already. It's kind of like if you're a baseball fan, you're in extra innings, 10th inning, 11th inning, what happens? You start with a runner on second base. This takes you to that second base at the beginning. So hit keywords in your black box, and then basically you are going to want to put in your criteria of what might indicate opportunity for you for a keyword on Amazon. All right, so for me, I'm going to go ahead and start with search volume. I'm going to say, hey, let me just do a minimum of 3,000 search volume. Let's go to 8,000. Again, this is not a magic number. You can do any number you want. In the US marketplace, I do recommend like over 1,000 in the US marketplace. But if you're doing this in Germany or UK, you'd be totally fine with doing like maybe 500. Would be a decent keyword. All right, what else do we have here? I'm going to go ahead and do the same price of 20 to 40. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that when I do this 20 to 40, it doesn't mean that keywords that have products above or below this won't come up at all. This just means if I take an average of the top products on page one, the price range is around $20 to $40. Let's go ahead and do a max review count of 150. Again, I just want to have some products where at least the average review count is pretty low. Another one I highly suggest doing. All right. I'll tell you a lot in these things like, hey, don't copy me, but this one, copy me. All right. Do minimum 2 or 3 or even 4 sometimes on the word count. This means the keyword phrase that's being searched, it's going to be a minimum of 2. Now, why do I say this? You can find one word keywords that have high search volume. Like a lot of people are searching for it on Amazon. Like let's take kitchen, right? Kitchen, maybe has thousands of searches, but it doesn't have what I call buyer intent. Do you think that somebody who types in kitchen on Amazon is going to buy something from the search results? Probably not. Very rare that happens, relatively speaking. Somebody who uses such a broad term like just kitchen is probably just browsing, looking for ideas, right? Now this is English in America I'm talking about. There are some super long individual words that are in Amazon Japan, Amazon Germany, etc. So you got to do what works for the marketplace, but I'm just speaking about Amazon USA right now. Now, instead of a one word like kitchen, what if the keyword was stainless steel kitchen serving spoon? That's a long keyword, but doesn't that have a lot more buyer intent? It's much more likely that somebody is typing in that keyword and buying something in the search results that they see than just typing in kitchen, because that's a very specific keyword. So that's just a little bit why I say try and put at least 2 keywords there. All right, let's go ahead and choose the categories of the main products. Let's go ahead and do the similar ones that we did before, kitchen and dining. Let's go ahead and do office products. Let's go ahead and do patio, lawn, and garden. And what I could choose that. There's tons of filters here, guys, that you could probably figure out what's the best for you. One that I really like is title density. This is something unique to Helium10. Basically, this is looking at page 1 of the search results, and it's saying out of all the listings on page 1, last time Helium10 checked, what is the number of products on that page that have the exact searched keyword in exact phrase form in the listing? For example, if the keyword I'm searching for is coffin shelf and the title density is 10, that means that on page 1, out of the 50 products on there, 10 of them had that exact keyword coffin shelf in the title. All right, not coffin shaped shelf, but coffin shelf in exact phrase form. And why this is interesting to know is that the lower that number is, the better chance or the easier it's going to be for you to get to page 1 when you're trying to launch this product. It's not a guarantee or anything like that. And it doesn't mean if there's a high title density, I'm going to stay away from that. It's just kind of a gauge to know how difficult it's going to be for you to get to page 1. So I like to find keywords that right off the bat, I have a little bit easier chance to get on page 1. So that's why I put a maximum of 5 on this title density. Let's go ahead and hit search and see what we see. All right, I got 20 phrases. Same thing as I mentioned in black box products, guys. If you get over 200, it means you need to narrow your filters down. But let's just take a look at some of these keywords. Blank cards with chip, fruit trees, my goodness. Get well gifts for women after surgery. That's a very specific keyword right there, right? Cruise ducks for hiding with tags. Hold on, guys. I got to look at this on Amazon. I have never heard of this keyword in my life. And now I'm looking on this. I'm like, what in the world is this? Cruise ducks for hide. I still don't know what this is, but just look at this. This is a keyword that's searched thousands of times a month. And look at the number 1 product on this page. It says 500 people have bought it in the last month and only has 29 reviews. All right. The one that has Amazon's Choice only has 100 reviews. Here's one that's in the top 10. It has 0 reviews. It was just launched and it's already in the top 10. So this just shows you how easy it is to find these kind of keywords using black box. If I were to tell you, hey, find me a keyword that's searched for thousands of times where the products on page 1 are so new, they barely have any reviews and nobody has that keyword in the title. I mean, how many hours would you be searching on Amazon for that? But look at that. I found 20 interesting opportunities potentially there in black box. It took me less than 1 minute. So guys, black box keywords is super, super beneficial for finding product opportunity for a new product that you've never sold before, or maybe like a new product to your existing brand. Maybe you type, you're selling coffin shelves like me, and you want to see what other keywords have the word coffin in it, for example. That's another way that you can use this tool. Now, in the next strategy, let me show you how to take this black box for keywords information even further. How to find product opportunity by looking at the top 10 search results. Why is this important? How can it make you money? This is another way, guys, that I literally have been making money with this exact technique. The previous strategy I gave you was just kind of looking at top products overall, what's going on in the search results of a page. But I like looking at the top 10 results, specifically some characteristics of what's going on there. And I feel that that is a great way to help me find product opportunities. So how do you do that? We're still here in black box keywords. Just like in the last strategy, I'm going to enter in a bunch of different filters here, such as search volume, etc., in order to look at what could mean opportunity for me. So let's go ahead and enter in a search volume range. Let's go ahead and do 3,000 to 10,000. Let's go ahead and do a price of 20 to 40. Now in this time, I'm going to leave the review count blank. All right. I'm going to leave the review count blank. I'm going to show you why in a second. Like I always suggest, do minimum word count 2. All right. Let's choose 3 categories. Let's go home and kitchen, kitchen and dining, and patio, lawn and garden. And now let's go into this bottom 2 advanced filters. The first one is called competitor revenue. I bet you a lot of you, even who are Helium10 professionals, you have not used this. Competitor revenue is basically only looking at the top 10 products the last time Helium10 checked. So I'm going to say more than 5,000, minimum 5. What does that mean? I'm saying that out of the top 10 products on this keyword, I would like to see one where 5 out of those 10 is doing at least $5,000 a month. And then for competitor reviews, I'm going to put less than 150 and I'm going to put minimum 6. And again, basically what I'm saying here is, hey, Helium10, out of any keyword on Amazon, show me one that has all these other filters here, but we're out of the top 10 products organically ranked on page 1, 6 or less, or 6 or more, I should say, sorry, has less than 150 reviews, meaning a lot of products are brand new on this page. Let's go ahead and hit search and see what we see. All right, I got 83 results here. And again, a lot of great keywords here. Airplane head strap for sleeping. That sounds dangerous to me. I don't even know what the heck that is. Swell salad bowl kit. I have no idea what that means. Deep freezer organizer bins. Snow globe tumbler. Let's just look at this snow globe one. You might think that, oh my goodness, that's something that is completely saturated. But no, this is a tumbler style of snow globe. And sure enough, look at the very first products here. There's definitely more than 6 that have less than 150 reviews. and it would have been impossible to find this. I didn't even know something like this existed. So this is probably my number one go-to way of finding product opportunity. I mean, there's tons of ways in Helium 10. This is my favorite way, is using black box keywords and then laser focusing my search to what's going on in those top 10 search results to find some golden opportunities for me that I can potentially validate and maybe even start selling on Amazon. How to find product opportunity using Amazon brand analytics. Why is this important? How can it make you money? Brand analytics is something that Amazon released to the general public a few years ago, and people were like flabbergasted that they would release that level of data. It basically tells you what are the top keywords week by week or even day by day, month by month on Amazon. It ranks them as far as, like their search frequency. And then of those top 3 keywords, it tells you which 3 products were the most clicked and what percentage of the overall clicks they had. And then of those 3 products that were the most 3 clicked, what had the most conversions? In other words, which had the most sales for that keyword? So it was amazing. The problem with looking at it on Amazon, for those of you, if you have brand registry, you definitely have access to this. By the way, to use this tool in Helium 10, you have to have your Amazon account connected to Helium 10, and you have to have brand registry in your account. That's what allows us to be able to show this information to you. But anyways, if you've got that brand registry, this is going to give you some really interesting insights. And for those of you who have had it, you might have found it difficult to really filter through on Amazon because it will show you like 3 million keywords, and you have to download this database into an Excel file if your computer can handle a 3 million line database, and then run pivot tables and stuff to try and see opportunity. And you really couldn't link it to Helium 10 data points like search volume and things like that. Well, no longer. That is the next tool that we are going to go over here in Blackbox. It's the third tool at the top called ABA Top Search Terms. And it basically allows you to enter criteria that you can mix Helium 10 data with Amazon brand analytics data to find product opportunity. So in this situation, I'm going to go ahead and put under ABA top 3 total click share, a minimum 60%. So what I'm basically saying is, hey, I want to see a keyword where Amazon says that the top 3 products that were clicked have a total of at least 60% of the clicks. But at the same time, those top 3 products have between 1 and 30% of the conversions. Now, why is this opportunity to me? Well, think about what that's saying. In a equal world, if 3 products are getting 60% of the clicks and everybody had the same conversion rate, right? What would you expect those 3 products to their share of the sales would be? Should be 60%, right? But if I find one that gets 60% of the clicks, but only 30% of the conversions, what does that mean? That means these people are bouncing off of these top 3 products and ending up buying something else on the page that wasn't even one of the top 3 click. So now can you see why I think that's opportunity? It's like, hey, if I can figure out why people are bouncing off of that page and solve that problem, I could probably potentially easily take over their sales. All right. What else did I go ahead and enter in here into the filters? I put in search volume. And now I'm tying in Helium 10 numbers. Search volume between 3,000 and 8,000. I'm putting minimum word count too. And I'm throwing in a Helium 10 data point of title density with a maximum of 5. Let's go ahead and see what we see here. All right, I came up with 626 filtered keywords. And let's just take a look at this top one here that came up. Integrated